Hey everyone, it's Kariana with Create Your Future. I am a certified law of assumption coach. I'm a certified life coach, and I'm a certified meditation practitioner. And last but not least, I'm everyone's favorite witchy coach. So I am back with another video. The topic today is going to be about how to live rent-free in your SP's mind and heart. But before we get started on that, I wanted to remind you guys that we are giving away a free course. It's how to find your blocks and manifest anything fast. Also, too, all of my information about one-on-one coaching will be down in the description box below. If you guys need help on your manifestation journey, please reach out. I would love to help you. So I hope that everybody's cozy in your part of the world, wherever you are. I'm cozy. I'm in my vintage flannel today. I'm feeling good and like warm and cozy. I'm going to be actually drinking some tea throughout too, because my part of the world has actually changed. I know that some of you guys are aware of this, but I just moved across country. So I was traveling last week and couldn't get my video out in time. I've been going through a lot of life changes, but they're all positive, manifested all exactly the way that I wanted it. The house that I'm sitting in with my SP, the state that I'm in, I manifested all of it. It's where I want to be, but it's a lot of changes and it's going to take me a while to get settled, guys. I'm intending obviously that it's quicker or sooner than later, but yes, a lot of changes going on in my life, but good changes. But yeah, December is like one of my favorite months. You guys know that I love the holidays, and I hope you guys are all enjoying it with your family, your loved ones, and that it is going to be a wonderful holiday for whatever you guys celebrate. Okay, so let's get into this. So I just got off session with one of my clients, and I asked her before we got off session, I said, hey, I have an idea for a video. It's been swirling around in my head. It's a simple idea because I feel like we've all on this platform, all of the coaches, including me, including Amanda, have talked about everyone is you pushed out and thought transmission. And we've have our own thoughts, our own takes on it, our own perspective on it. And it does pertain to that. How to live rent-free in your SP's heart and mind does pertain to everyone as you pushed out and thought transmission. And my client was like so excited about hearing about this. She's like, this is exactly what I want to hear. I feel like a lot of other people need to hear this right now. And I asked her, I said, well, what are the questions that you would have for me? Like in session, or if you could answer questions if I was on like a live about this topic, what would you ask me? And I wrote down a couple of questions that she had. So this is going to be more of a simple video. And honestly, guys, I'm just going to loosely be talking about this. Okay. It's like whatever comes to mind, I'm going to spit out. I'm also going to give you like an example of what was going on when I was manifesting my SP. So how I knew that it was working. Okay. So how to live rent-free in your SP's mind and heart. Okay. So guys, we have to remember, let's bring it back to the basics, 101. You know, I'm a coach that's very straightforward, very simple, but very effective. Okay. I always intend that when you guys get off, when you get off the video or from watching a video of mine, when you get off session, that you are more clear than when you got on. Okay. Whatever the topic is that I'm talking about, that's what I intend for. Because I really just want to make this very straightforward and very easy, because manifesting is straightforward and easy if you make it. Okay. If you want to make it complicated, it's going to be complicated, guys. You guys literally make the rules, right? So let's think about things and let's say things, think about things, intend things, affirm things in conviction that you're powerful, that you're getting everything that you want right now in this moment. There's no time like the present, like I always say, to restart. Okay. 3 seconds ago was the past. Do not ever doubt your power. Okay. So let's make this simple. Okay. Let's make this effortless. Okay. So let's bring it back to basics, manifestation 101. Okay. Everyone is you pushed out in thought transmission. Literally everything and everybody in your life is responding to you. Why? Because you created them with your consciousness. Okay. So everyone is you pushed out. Life is happening through you. People are being created through you. Okay. You are literally the model of how everybody shows up for you. Okay. What you say that they're thinking, how you say that they're going to act, how you assume that they're going to show up for you, how you assume that you're viewed by them, all through you. Okay. Thought transmission, always happening. I always say this, always happening in its instant. You're like a transmitter. Okay. Your mind is like a mirror. You have a thought. What do mirrors do? When you look in a mirror, right? It's a reflection. So you have a thought, it reflects out here, and everybody is receiving it. Okay. So now that we have that out of the way, just in case you're new to our channel, new to manifestation, that's the easiest, quickest way that I can explain it to you, not to make this video super duper long. Okay. So in that, for instance, if we look at it like that, if we look at it like everything and everybody is being created through us, our assumptions about how these people, what anybody and everything is thinking about us, right, is the truth, especially if we keep on feeding our subconscious that thought, right? We all know that it starts in the logical mind and moves to the subconscious. And the more times, the more repetition, the more persistence, right, that we have in this thought, right? Logical mind, subconscious mind, it goes here, right? The more that we feed our subconscious that thought in particular. For example, SP sees me in my perfect version all the time. Okay, that's my thought. My SP sees me in my perfect version all the time. That's the only way they view me. Okay, so the more times that I feed my subconscious that thought, I am creating a new neural pathway. My subconscious is impressing that. Well, where else does it have, the thought has to go after it impresses the new neural pathway is there? It's being created. Well, where else does it have to go? Out here, right? For us to experience it. It gets pushed out here and then we experience it. Okay. So every single time that we're feeding our subconscious that thought, it's impressing, creating new neural pathways. It pushes out here. Our SP, because thought transmission is always happening in its instant, it's real, it's instant, it's always happening. Our SP is receiving that thought. Okay. They don't know that it's their thought or that it's not their thought, excuse me, right? Because this is one of the questions that my client had. She said, what's happening to SP? What's happening to SP when I'm thinking these things, right? Good or bad, what's happening? Well, good or bad, what's happening to SP is that they're receiving it. They think it's their own thought. Okay. And, they're getting downloads, right? Of this thought in one way, shape, or form, right? They're thinking this thought and they just think that it's their thought. They just think that we're landing in their head, right? We're, like I said, living rent free there, right? That we're in their heart, that they're feeling, they're having warm thoughts of us and they're feeling warm about us. They're feeling good. They're feeling like they want to reach out. They're feeling like they want to express this, whatever the feeling is to us, right? So yeah, so they're getting some kind of version of this thought. If my thought is my SP sees me in my perfect version all the time, okay, they're thinking of me and saying, wow, Kariana, she really was irreplaceable in my life. I really did love that woman. We had a great time together. We were actually a very good match. She's my perfect match, right? She's magnetic. I see her as irreplaceable. All of these things that I'm feeding myself, my subconscious, right? That I'm feeding my subconscious, in my self-concept and feeding my subconscious this and saying, I'm irreplaceable. I'm amazing. I am, there's no one like me. I'm one of a kind. All these great, wonderful things, right? I'm always in my perfect version. People always view me in my perfect version, whatever I'm telling myself. So they're receiving that. So they get all of those favorable, great thoughts about me. And I am on their mind. I'm literally in their mind, all the time. As many times as I'm feeding this thought to myself, these favorable thoughts to myself, and it goes to my subconscious, and my subconscious is impressing this and creating new neural pathways. It's being pushed out, right? I'm feeling this way about myself. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like the creator. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling this, I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling irreplaceable. I'm feeling all these things. SP is also receiving that, and I'm living rent free in SP's head, in SP's mind. Why? Because I'm living in my mind before I even see it out here, before I even feel it, before I even believe it. I'm living in my mind. And we all know that our thoughts, everything follows our thoughts. Everything, every single thing, right? Every single thing is a product of our thoughts. Our emotions are a product of our thoughts. So like I said, if I'm sitting here and I'm feeding my subconscious with these great thoughts about myself, I'm amazing, I'm one of a kind, everybody sees me in my best light, I'm magnetic, I walk through a room and everybody wants to be around me, I get treated like a queen everywhere I go. Just using examples. Okay. SP is thinking the same exact thing about me. I'm feeling good. My emotions are matching my thoughts, right? Always. So if I'm feeling good about myself, that means my thoughts, whatever I'm thinking, is in alignment with what I want. That's a very good indicator. How you're feeling is, you got to check your thoughts. If you're not feeling good, if you're in an unfavorable state, an unfavorable mood, and that's fine because we're not robots. I always say this, it's just where we dwell, guys. Okay. It's just where we dwell. So if you're feeling unfavorable emotions, check your thoughts. Okay. And 9 times out of 10, if we hold that, if we're in that state for a while, days, weeks, sometimes hours, we can push these things out. And SP is definitely 100% getting that. And that's why we always have to check in with ourselves. Like I say, always acknowledge what's going on, right? What are you thinking in those moments? How are you feeling? Acknowledge that. I always say that, acknowledge it. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to identify with it. You don't have to lean into it and spiral in it and fall down the rabbit hole and be Alice in Wonderland, like I said. You don't have to do any of that. You can acknowledge it. In fact, I always tell you, do not fear the thoughts. Do not fear the emotions. Don't fear anything, because if you're the creator, okay, you can create, uncreate, you can undo. You can do. Nothing is permanent. Everything is malleable. Everything is changeable. So whatever you fear has the control over you. Whatever you fear is on the pedestal. Whatever you fear has the free will. So just observe and acknowledge, and then treat it as a lesson. Okay, I want my SP to think favorable thoughts of me? I want to live rent-free in my SP's mind and my SP's heart. I want my SP to come in and show me these things with action. Everything they're thinking about me. Okay, so let me get clear on that. This is exactly what I want. So how do I go about this? Okay, well, I have to first start with my thoughts, because everything follows my thoughts. So what are my thoughts right now in this moment? Are they favorable or are they unfavorable? If they're unfavorable, then we got to flip them, guys. We've got to acknowledge what we're thinking, and we've got to flip it into the positive, and we've got to hold that thought. If we want SP to see us in our perfect light, and we're thinking, my SP thinks I'm annoying. My My said that they never want to talk to me again. My SP said that we're not compatible and this is never going to happen. And they don't see us ever working out because of ... My SP said that they're never going to, talk to me again because this is the last time they're ever going to go through this. My SP said that they've fallen in love with somebody else and that's it. Okay. Whatever it is that we're thinking, we're acknowledging that it's on our mind, that's causing these unfavorable thoughts and causing these unfavorable emotions. We need to flip it. We need to flip it into the positive, in alignment with what we want. Like I always say, intercept those thoughts, guys, because our SP is getting all of that. They're receiving all of that. Like I said, they know that it's that it's not their thoughts. They don't go, oh my gosh, Kariana's in my mind again. She's thinking about all these things. It's like, no, we're dropping into their mind. Yeah. But they're thinking, well, maybe we weren't compatible. I did make the right decision. Actually, I definitely made the right decision. This wasn't for me. I'm not picking up that phone. I thought about her last week when we were on top of our game, when we were saying, I'm amazing with conviction, they were thinking good thoughts. Oh, I wanted to pick up the phone, but now not so much. Not so much. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm going to go do something else. Something else is my priority. Someone else is my priority, whatever the case may be, right? Just using examples, not trying to say that you have a 3P, not trying to say that you're going to create one, not trying to say that SP is out there dating, not trying to say that. I'm just saying that they're thinking these thoughts. If it's unfavorable, guys, remember the unfavorable, they don't think unfavorable thoughts and then not think favorable or vice versa. It's all in the same playing field. Like I told you guys before, let me remind you, okay? You have your own little quantum bubble, okay? And your quantum bubble, like I say, you have a Bible, right? You have your own little Bible, and your Bible says that you get exactly what you want. That your thoughts rule everything, right? Your thoughts, everything follows your thoughts. That's what your little Bible says. It doesn't say that the unfavorable thoughts manifest and the favorable ones don't, right? Doesn't say that. It's all on the same playing field. I'm going to go into the next question because it's kind of along the same lines of that. My client asked me, so how do I know that it's working? Okay. Well, how many other things have you manifested in your life, good or bad? And you've actually sat with them and said, oh my gosh, I know exactly how that manifested. My thoughts were this, good or bad. My thoughts, I was thinking, I was thinking that me and SP were, fighting a lot and that we were probably going to break up because the fights were getting way out of control and we were not on the same page and we weren't understanding each other and things weren't the same between us and they were never taking me out on dates. Okay. I'm just using examples, guys. I'm just going off the top of my head. And then boom, SP and you start arguing more. And then boom, you have a breakup. And then maybe you didn't know at that time that you were manifesting, and now you're consciously manifesting. And now because you might have found manifestation or LOA, might have found out about manifestation through your breakup, from your breakup. A lot of people say, yeah, I went through this breakup and I talked to somebody or I read something or I saw something on YouTube and I found out about LOA and now I want to manifest my SP back. Okay. And so you may get coaching. You may see one of my videos. You may read a Neville book. And all of a sudden the light bulb goes off and you're like, oh my gosh, I know exactly how I manifested this. I know exactly how I did it. Wow. Okay. And now you're trying to manifest your SP back. And you might get, like I said, you might get coaching. Okay. You might talk to one of your LOA manifestation buddies. And you might be like, well, how do I know this is working? Well, you manifested the breakup, right? So your breakup, it's not that, you manifested the breakup, but you can't manifest your SP back. Like I said, everything is on the same playing field. Okay. Manifestation is perfect every single time, whether it be favorable or unfavorable. You decide that. You call your manifestation in the way that you want to experience it. If you call it in at all, that's up to you. Totally up to you, right? It's yours. But you have to decide on how you're going to experience it. Okay. So when people ask me, well, how do I know that it's working? It's like, well, you're here, right? You've manifested a ton of things in your life. It could be, oh, I know how I manifested that job. I've got a great job now. Oh, I know how I manifested that car. Oh my gosh, I love my car. It's exactly what I wanted. The color, the make, the model. Okay. It's exactly what I wanted. Oh, I'm sitting in my lovely house and exactly where I want it to be. It's exactly how I wanted my house to look on the exact street. Just using examples. But with SP, is this working? Well, of course it's working, guys. Of course it's working. That's where blind faith, right? And belief has to come into play. That's where I tell people it's like a trust fall. You have to literally close your eyes and, have your hands up and fall back. You got to trust and believe that the universe I call it the universe. You can call it anything you want, higher self, God, self, universe, subconscious even, right? Anything you want to call it is we're always working in your favor. It's always conspiring to give you what you want. It's like a chess game. I've said this many times, moving people and places and things out of the way to give you what you want. Okay. Dropping you into situations to have you experience what you want. So how do you know that it's working? Let's look at all the things that you manifested before, whether you were consciously manifesting or not. Be honest with yourself. And 9 times out of 10, when I tell my clients, and sometimes I leave them with that homework to actually write down a small list of things that they know for a fact of how they manifested it and explain it to me on the next session. And they always come back and tell me, now I understand how I manifested that. So that's how you know that it's working. That and blind faith and belief, knowing how powerful you are, knowing that manifestation is always working and it's always perfect, no matter even if it's favorable or unfavorable, it's always working. If you choose and you decide that you want to call these things in and you want to experience them the way that you want to experience them, and you live in your mind, right? Hold those thoughts, then it will manifest. SP will receive those thoughts. SP will have you in their mind and their heart, living rent-free. I can guarantee that. If we're backing it up and we're intending with action, right? We can call those things in for sure, without a doubt. SP is going to come in and show us with their actions that they're thinking about us, that we're on their mind, that we're in their heart still, that they want this as much as we want it, because they have no choice but to show up the way that we want them to show up. Why? Because they're in our quantum bubble, because we created them with our consciousness. Don't ever doubt that. Okay. Now, another thing is my client, and this is going to be kind of like, it's related, but like it's a side note thing, I guess you could call it, without really having like a word for it. My client was just really, she's been manifesting SP. She's actually been a success story of mine on the channel. Okay. And she is tweaking some things because some things changed in her reality with SP and their relationship, right? And I'm not going to go into too much detail because one, she hasn't written a success story yet, and she hasn't given me permission to share, even if it's anonymously. I want to withhold her privacy. But she is something's changed in her relationship with SP, and she's really been dwelling in the unfavorable circumstances, right? That she's created. She knows how she created them. She's taken accountability, but she is also, she's coaching with me weekly now because we're trying to get her back on track, which she is definitely doing. I see it. I see her turning that corner. But she, at first, when this first pushed out these changes that she was uncomfortable with, that she didn't like, because she is manifesting marriage, she was dwelling. You know, she's like, I'm kicking myself in my butt. I'm dwelling on this. How do I stop this? You know, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. And I'm like, yeah, you know, the thing is that why dwell? Why dwell? Like I said, when 3 seconds ago was the past. Why dwell when we know how we created this? And if we know how we created it, we're honest with ourselves. So we take accountability and we're observing this. We're observing this, right? We're acknowledging it. We're observing it so we can flip it and change it, okay, into the positive. Then why dwell? Dwelling is literally like being on a hamster wheel. You're in a cycle. And you're not a hamster, so why are you on the wheel? I always tell my clients that. Why are you on a hamster wheel? You're not a hamster, right? So it's just like being in a hamster wheel cycle. Boom, 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 right? We need to cut ourselves from that cycle. We need to cut that cycle. We need to cut that pattern. And I only talk about that on session. I say, after we get off session, we're not in a cycle. We're not in a pattern anymore. Absolutely not. We have to flip those thoughts. So I'm telling you right now, if you're a person that's sitting there and you're dwelling And I know this is going to reach a lot of you guys, and it's going to hit home because I've seen it in session a lot lately with new and returning clients. You guys are really, really emotional right now and in your feelings and dwelling. And I want you to get out of that cycle, okay? And trust me when I say that it's all happening in your favor. Unfavorable or favorable. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna pick favorable. I'm gonna get what I want out of something. If I know that it's working both ways, then I'm gonna pick the favorable. Okay. And it's okay. You're not a robot. Like I always say, like Amanda has told me, like I've told other people, clients, friends, everybody, myself, we're not robots. Well, Amanda hasn't said that, but she's told me, I always say that we're not robots, but she has reminded me, right? That your feelings are there to feel them. They come up for you to feel them. Sorry, guys, I have an itchy nose. Oh, they come up for you guys to feel them and then to release them so you can reset. Okay. It's all about resetting. Like I always say, there's no time like the present to reset. So let's spend our energy on resetting rather than dwelling. Okay. Let's spend our energy on, let me feel this emotion so I can release it, so I can reset. Instead of let me feel this emotion so I can spiral, so I can dwell there, so I can fall down the rabbit hole. All you're doing is, I've said this before several times, all you're doing is just impeding your manifestation from coming in. You're just making it harder on yourself. Okay. Now, also too, let me tell you guys an example. When I was manifesting my SP, and I do use examples, I don't go into great detail. I haven't figured out yet, or haven't decided yet on if I want to do that on this channel, because I don't like to reaffirm my old story. But trust me and SP have a lot of history. If you were to look at our situation from the point of view of a person that was not into LOA, that did not know that they were manifesting, right? They're unconscious to this. They're asleep to this. It wouldn't make any sense on how I'm here right now. Let's just put it that way, okay? I have a lot of history with SP. But when I was manifesting SP, okay, when I decided that I wanted him back in my reality, because at first I wasn't sure, then I got clear, okay? The minute that I did that, I'm a firm believer in inner conversations, because we're never, ever, ever apart from our SP energetically. We just never are. So going in and having an inner conversation, your SP is receiving all of that. Okay. You want to live in somebody's mind and heart. Inner conversation is a sure way to do that. Okay. And I always say, come from love and kindness. Meet them in your inner conversation in love and kindness. Okay. Not from the ego mind. Okay. Not from the victim mind. Also, too, you want to see your SP not in their victim mind set, not in ego mind. Okay. You both come from love and kindness. You're both open. You're both ready to receive, give and receive in your perfect versions. Okay. That is a sure way to live in somebody's heart and mind. That is a sure way to get action from that person and call them in and bring them in the way that you want to see them. Okay. But I got clear with my SP when I was manifesting my SP. I got clear on what I wanted. And I went in and I had inner conversations with him. I lived in my mind. I didn't care what I saw here. I didn't care what I saw, what I didn't see, what I didn't hear, what I heard, what I believed, what I didn't believe. Okay, guys, I didn't care. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I had moments, because I'm not a robot. I had moments, but I always brought it back to, I'm getting what I want. It doesn't matter. And I was living in my mind. I was living from wish fulfilled. I was living from what I had created as my perfect scenario with SP and me. And that's it. That's what I live from. And when I got really steadfast on that, when I started living in conviction, intending in conviction, affirming in conviction, thinking in conviction, this is happening right now. I am the person who's experiencing this. Okay. And I knew without a doubt, I knew that I was pinging SP. I knew he was receiving all of this. Why? Because everyone is being pushed out. Why? Because thought transmission is real. And once I lived in that, my SP came in actually pretty quickly, and it was literally overnight. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I could give you an example of my 3D, this is why we don't pay attention to 3D. If I could give you an example of my 3D, if I could go into detail right now about how my 3D did not match what was happening behind the scenes, when I tell you guys that, it did not match at all. I was not really seeing any movement. Movement was happening, obviously, because my SP came in pretty much overnight. Okay. Once I was really, really sure about what I wanted, my SP came in very quickly. And my 3D, if I would have paid attention to my 3D, and if I would have dwelled in that, and I would have spiraled in that, and I would have just taken that as the evidence of lack, or the evidence of getting the unfavorable, the opposite, whatever, I would have been stuck there. I would have never gotten what I wanted. But I had to live in my mind. So when I lived in my mind and I knew I was pinging SP and I was sending him thoughts and I was having inner conversations with him, he came in, and like I said, it was crazy because it was very fast, very hot. Was like we never missed a beat. And I will never forget, one of his messages was like, the best way I can describe it is that he was answering my thoughts. He was answering well, I don't know if it was even a question that I had. I was intending that I'll give you guys one of my intentions. Because of the circumstances that were happening, obviously we just don't make them matter, right? But because of what was going on, one of my intentions was, my SP needs me now more than ever. He needs me right by his side. That's why I'm right by SP's side. Right now, I'm always right by SP's side. So when I was intending that and affirming for that, and then in inner conversation, I was having these conversations with him that were pertaining to that, me being right by his side and him needing me and him not being able to live his life without me. He literally had texted me, one of his texts, because I had like woken up one day. This is how he came in. I woke up, or I went to bed the night before. I was kind of like feeling kind of like neutral, but kind of blah, like a little tinge of sadness, whatever. Like I was kind of paying attention to my 3D, but I was bringing it back to living in my mind and intending everything. And I had fallen asleep, and I woke up to like 5 messages from him, like early in the morning, like 5 messages in a row. And one of the messages he was answering, he was literally responding to my intention and like answering what we had talked about in inner conversation. Like, I can't make this stuff up, guys. And it was like he was like, absolutely, I need you right by my side. Absolutely, I can't live my life without you. And it didn't, like, if you didn't know about LOA, it wouldn't have made much sense. But the fact that I knew what I was doing, I was like, ding, 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 like, this is why I never doubt this. This is why I can't make this stuff up. This is why manifestation is perfect. This is why manifestation is always working, even behind the scenes. So you guys, just please, never doubt. And I always say this, if you choose me as your coach, don't ever doubt, or just trust me as your coach. Okay. Don't ever doubt that there's a method to my madness. I always tell people there's a circus going on in here, meaning that there's always a method to my madness, right? And my goal is to always get you guys from the point that you're at right now to what you want in the most effortless, efficient way possible, okay? Because I'm speaking from experience. I am totally speaking from experience. And that's why I just did this video like loosely today. And because I had this in my mind, and I hope that this is all making sense, by the way, because like I said, I'm just loosely talking about things. And I wanted to be very candid with you guys. I wanted to tell you guys about what was going on in my life, about, moving across country, and remind you guys how powerful you guys are, and remind you that honestly, guys, it's just as simple as concentrating on your thoughts, right? Living in your mind, right? No matter what you see, pinging our SP with our favorable thoughts, right? Knowing without a doubt that it's working, stand in conviction, have those inner conversations if you feel like you need to. Trust me, trust me, trust me. You are pinging your SP. You are living in your SP's mind and heart. Okay. Let's back that up with some action. Let's sprinkle it with some action. So then we get our SP thinking about us. We get our SP falling in love with us again. And we get our SP to come in hot and fast, right? And tell us everything that we want to hear and show us everything we want to see from them. So guys, I'm going to leave it there. You know, I love you guys so much. I don't know why I'm so mushy with you guys, but I just love you guys so much. Literally, I just received the coolest. It was like, she's seeing movement. So she just wanted to kind of check in with me, but I had this client, I'm going to read it to you guys because literally, like, seriously made me tear up. Like, legit, I'm pretty much unshakable, unbothered. This made me tear up, and I'm giving a shout out to her. She knows who she is. I wanted to do it on this channel because she's special to me. Everybody, every one of you guys are special to me. But for her to write this to me and tell me, you know, I'm seeing lots of movement, but I just wanted to share this with Kariana, and these special words that she had taken the time to write this to me. It just makes me feel so special. It was very short and sweet, but it made such a big impact on me. And I'm going to forever save this. It just means so much to me. So let me read it to you guys. Okay. So my reception just sent this to me. Hello. Just wanted to pass on a message for Kariana that she is so incredible, truly the best mentor and amazing coach. I love my sessions with her. They remind me how powerful I am. I say her energy is like a sword because she just cuts through all the doubt. She knows I'm seeing so much movement and shifts in my reality since working with her. Just wanted to send her some love and gratitude right now. I mean, seriously, literally that is another confirmation on why I make this my life's work right here. Guys, like, seriously, I appreciate you guys so much, right? I'm getting like choked up right now. I can't even talk, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are just wonderful and beautiful and powerful creatures, creators, whatever we want to call it. And you guys just keep being steadfast, right? And keep on your intentions, keep on your mental diet, keep on your affirmations. Let's have some tunnel vision here, guys. Let's call in everything that we want. Let's live rent-free in our SP's mind and heart. Even if you're with SP, let's ping them right now a positive thought, right? That they love us from head to toe, inside and out, that we're their perfect partner, and that's why they'll never ever leave us. Okay, let's say that with conviction. Let's affirm that and intend that with conviction, guys. And you will ping your SP, I promise you. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys with that because this is probably like 45 minutes long, but I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. And you guys stay really, really cozy, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.